Hey everyone, it's Nicole Burnett with Queen Hemp Company, back for another session of Hydro Masterclass. Today's discussion is a continuation of our series on integrated pest management. Today we're going to focus on the russet mite. So russet mites are one of the most devastating things that can happen to your grow. They can potentially cause the collapse of not only one grow, but future grows, several grows in a row. They are so devastating and so destructive that this is definitely one of those ones that you need to have a very serious IPM protocol set up for. The females will overwinter in the stems of the plants and in the joints, so it makes them especially tricky to eradicate. Their life cycle is 8 to 15 days, which that's controlled by environmental conditions such as temperature and humidity, and unfortunately those ideal conditions for them to have a short life cycle are also those conditions that are the best for your grow. Another thing that is a problem is that they are so small. They cannot be seen with the naked eye. You're going to need a loupe, a really high-powered loupe. You're going to need a zoom lens or a microscope to see them and identify them. Take random samples of leaves, paying particular attention to the underside of the leaf, along the veining of the leaf, to look for them there. They have clear eggs, so it makes it a little bit tricky to identify if you're only seeing that stage of development. Another thing to be mindful of is that you're not just taking leaf samples from the top of the canopy, you're going to want to take them from the bottom of the canopy as well, because this insect in particular travels from the bottom to the top. Some of the symptomology is also hard to identify. The early identifiers for this particular insect is leaf yellowing and then also tacoing of the leaves. Both of those things can look like they are a nutrient deficiency or a hydration issue, thus making it a little bit harder to catch them early. It is really hard to say how they get into your grow. You bringing in plant material, purchase plant material from somewhere else, make sure you vet your genetics provider. If they can come in on clothing, they can come in on shoes, they can even hitch a ride on aphids and get into your grow that way. So they are extremely adept at hiding, and it's very hard to identify and catch them before it becomes a big issue. So one of the treatments, well, there are several treatments that are available. The FDA has an approved list of used products for the hemp industry. A lot of those are biologicals, and there is one commercial pesticide application. Be really careful about using some of those. They have specifications on whether or not they're approved for use in vegetative versus in flowering stage. So you'll want to be really careful, especially if you're producing a smokable product, that you are paying attention to that so you don't end up with a pop on your pesticide test. So another one of those products that you need to be mindful about is a sulfur-based product. Some of those, they're highly effective, but some of those have inert ingredients that could potentially pop on a pesticide. So another thing to do is just, while you're setting up your integrated pest management protocol, just be very, very diligent about cleaning up any leaf material leaf litter that's on the ground, also in trays, and do your random checks. You have to stay on top of it and never let your guard down, because this is one of those terrible, terrible things that will collapse an entire grow. Thanks very much, and we will continue with another round of Hydro Masterclass.